This video covers signing services and whether we plan on using them to meet our 2021 monetary goals or we don't, whether we like them or we don't, they'll always exist in our industry. And the overarching theme of this video is going to be understanding what your worth is as a notary signing agent. And so if you know these four things, you are far above everybody else. So stay tuned for today's video. I'm excited to have you today. Roll the intro. Hello everybody and welcome back to another journal entry with Sign Stamp Steve. This is episode 2 and today we are covering signing services. I'm excited to have you. I'm excited for you to be with me and to understand how the industry works, or if you are existing in the industry, I want to just remind you of a couple things that you may have forgotten or a couple things that you should continue to look forward to moving into 2021. The 4 knows that we should know as notary signing agents in 2021 dealing with signing services. So let me just give you a little bit of background as to how this conversation kind of came about. So this kind of initiative, this video stemmed off of a date night that me and my wife had, which is this last Saturday. It's the new week of the second week of this month. So on Saturday, me and my wife went on a little date night, and it was exciting. It was great. We got to talk about a lot of things that we needed to as husband and spouse, or husband and wife. And we talked about kind of our goals for 2021, our looking back at 2020, how we were doing physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And it's just that time that we get to kind of focus on each other, have the kids go with the grandparents, and it's very needed in our relationship, etc. So we were there at this new sushi restaurant called Muse that just opened up. They were offering 15% off of the entire meal. And us business owners or notary signing agents, we know that we're trying to cut costs wherever we can, right? So we're at this restaurant and we're dining and we're enjoying our drinks and having a good time. And at some point, my wife asked me how the industry's going. How is my business going? What are my plans for the next few weeks moving forward into this first quarter of 2021? And as I start to kind of give her the rundown of the industry as of right now, because Mark Wills recently posted an article that said the rates just dropped to 2.65, which is another historic low, as previously they were at 2.75. And just so you know, just because it's at 2.75 or 2.65 doesn't mean that that's what you'll get. I actually heard a podcast recently that there's 28 factors that determine what your interest rate is going to be. And so quite fascinating. Even if it's 2.65, you still might qualify for a 3.0 or a 2.85, whatever it is. You'll always, it'll never be what kind of the industry rates have dropped to, right? Because there's factors involved in determining what your interest is going to be. So I'm covering that, they just dropped to 2.65 as kind of the baseline, and the industry is moving so rapidly, and Escrow is looking to get as many notaries as possible, or those trusted notaries that they've been dealing with. But notaries are so on demand right now, and it's exciting for me and our industry because we are on demand, right? And that means that we can scale our business, we can build more relationships, we can meet more people as people reach out to us to close their document signings. And so it's an exciting time. And so I'm talking about Escrow and the lender and talking about my industry and what my plan is moving forward, when I look to my left and I see this woman's eyes light up, or ears kind of perk up, like she was keen to hear something that I was saying. And I saw this little glimpse of, they're saying something that I relate to. And so I saw that, and so I went a little bit deeper into the industry. I started kind of breaking down the process, right? This is who the loan originator is and the loan processor. And this is who the underwriter is, and the underwriter has the final say in the transaction. And by this time that it's an underwriting, it's already an escrow. And this is what escrow does. They're the third neutral party involved in this transaction. Money goes in, money goes out. And I'm breaking it down to my wife because I know that she was interested. At some point, this individual looks at me and she says, "You know what, hey, did I hear you say something about notary?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, I'm a notary public. I own a signing service. I'm a signing agent. Very small team as of right now. We have goals for 2021. I've been in the industry for almost 2 years now, have $1 million in E&O insurance, LLC, etc. Just giving her the rundown of the business because at this point, she's interested and she's asking. And she looks at me and she says, I'm a signing agent too. And I said, great, that's amazing because I actually haven't met any signing agents personally. So it's great to see that we have one so close. How long have you been in the industry? And she starts telling me that she's a loan processor, or she was a loan processor. She has history as in the lender aspect of the mortgage industry. So she was a loan processor or a loan originator. I forgot which one it was, if they're not interchangeable terms. And she did that for some time working for her brother's company, and then she became a realtor. So now she understands the buying and listing agent portion of it and has an understanding of the forms as well. So she's done the realtor, she's done the lender process, and as a realtor, with the free time that she has, she's a full-time notary signing agent. So this is an individual who has vast experience in the mortgage industry from wearing multiple hats. And there's always going to be those times in life where you have to determine when it's time to listen and also when it's time to shut up. When it's time to shut up and listen, and other times where you want to make your pitch or make your, kind of sell yourself or extend yourself as a resource to that individual. And so we're going on to the night, and she starts telling me about, her experience in the industry and all that she knows and the kind of printer she runs. And we start talking about how amazing it is to be a full-time notary signing agent. She's like, you must have free time. You must hang out with the wife a lot. And I was like, yeah, and we also have the twin boys. And so that's amazing. I get to spend a lot more time with them and make them breakfast every morning. We have fun. We read books. We do all the good stuff that I wouldn't have been able to do going into work at my 9 to 5. And so I'm explaining how amazing this industry is. And then my wife goes, you guys should totally exchange numbers. And she's like, well, he's my competition. And we were kind of joking around. But she starts to ask me, she said, do you work for signing services? And I said, yes, actually, I think most of my business is built on signing services right now. And she was fascinating me because she started to break down, she must have been, I don't want to estimate her age, but obviously she had years of experience in these various positions in the mortgage industry. But she starts to explain that in her time in the industry, she has seen the trends and characteristics or the field, the landscape of the notary industry, specifically in signing services, has significantly changed. And she starts explaining that when signing services came on in the business, they started with giving bigger fees and taking less. And now they're taking almost 100% of the profit, right? They have signings for $250, $300, and it's a reverse mortgage. They give you $75, they take $225. And that is kind of the trends for most. I wouldn't even say most. I would say the bad apples of the signing services. And if you're in the Southern California Notary Public Network and something group, right, in our Facebook group, or the LSS group, or the Notary Coach group, Sign and Thrive, whatever you're in, there are always conversations about how signing services pitch these extremely low-ball offers and expect you to take them. And she said that it didn't used to be like that. The landscape has completely changed over the recent years, and even more frequently in 2020. And, it was just so interesting to hear, because this is a woman who had extreme knowledge in the industry, and to see it all happen was very interesting to me. And I didn't know it was always like that. And so she starts explaining to me that I had to understand what my value was. She said, how long have you been in the industry? I said, just about 2 years. She said, have you had any mistakes? I made one mistake. I swapped out the wrong docs for the right ones, and it was just pretty simple. I got it fixed. She said, okay, have you made any mistakes since then? I was like, no, that's very early on in my career. Haven't made any mistakes since then. She said, great. Do you work direct? I said, no, I don't currently work direct. I am full-time signing services as of right now. I do have plans to expand that into 2021 and partnering. I'm currently partnering with this mortgage officer and this lending team, etc. And she said, okay, here's what I want to tell you. She said, never take a lowball offer. I was like, really? I was like, not even in between signings or anything. She's like, never take a lowball offer. They're not doing you any favors. And here's what it's because I was picking up what she was dropping down, right? What she was dropping. And so she starts to explain that she had put in the time, she had put in the practice, and then she had vast experience in this industry to know what she was worth. And so that's kind of what I want to cover, because these are my takeaways. So she was at a point in her career where there was those close individuals that she worked with, even signing services. But signing services that she worked with who understood that this individual had a lot of value. And if they weren't meeting her minimum requirement of $100 to $125, and if it wasn't 15 miles within her radius, right up north, and kind of in our area, she would not take the signing. And they were completely okay with that. And I said, wow, like how long did it take to get to that point? How do I understand what my value is? How do I have the confidence to to say that to a signing service? And she said, you have so much experience. You have more experience than you realize. So she understood what her worth was by her experience in the industry, right? The knowledge that she had, but also time and practice. And so I want to cover that. I would kind of jumble up knowledge and time into the same category, because time, to me, is you have put in the time to understand what it is that you are offering or extending as a service. And so the more time that you put into this industry, the more valuable you are. And so the first thing I want to say is that you should know that you need to put in the time to learn the service that you're extending. Put in the time. Know that you need to put in the time for the service that you are extending. The second thing you need to know is that you need to practice it, right? You can't just study something and not go out there and do it in the field. So do the signings. And maybe this would even be where I would extend my piece of information. My recommendation is to, if you're not getting the high fees, and likely you're not as a new signing agent, take the signing offers right now. Take 10 to 15, maybe 20, 25 most. Take those, get the experience, get the knowledge, understand what a couple of loan sets look like. Make your mistakes early on, and then move into the signing services that have more credentials, that pay more, and that are going to reward you in the long run. You start to move into those, and as you progress in your knowledge of the industry, you go direct, right? I'm almost 2 years in, and I'm going to be going direct. In fact, the next YouTube video I'm coming out with, which should be posted hopefully Wednesday, or if not Thursday of this week. And right now it's Tuesday. I'm going to be doing live cold calls, and it's going to be exciting because I want to get you past the barrier, right? Whether it's mental or kind of like that thing that's blocking you from getting to the next level. I'm going to walk you through that. I'm going to give you my scripts. I'm going to do it live. Shoot, I might even make mistakes. I might even get a lot of no's, but all of those no's leads closer to a yes. In fact, there's a book from a famous author that said, start to love the no's, because every no leads you closer to a yes. And so in covering all of these things, you have to know that you must put in the time and you must put it into practice, because those two things are going to lead you into the next level. And that's when you can start to, again, partner with signing services that are kind of renowned in the industry, that give you those higher fees, that allow you to set your own. And those partners who really are going to start to build a long-lasting relationship with you in your business. In fact, they might allow you to subcontract and to do what you need to do as your own signing service. So the mission here today was not to say that all signing services are bad. In fact, again, if you're meeting your 2021 monetary goals with signing services, amazing job, great job. You're doing exactly what you need to. But be mindful of, and this is me processing the information that this individual gave me, is that these companies really aren't doing you any favors. I would say use them, do your 25 signings tops, and then start to really move into the signings that are going to give you the benefit, that are going to benefit you in the long run. Maybe even go direct after you get those first couple ones under your belt. If you're confident, and again, if you've put in the time, because time is so important to understand the terms, understand the definitions, understand the loan docs. If you put in the time and you've done your practice, go to that next level. The last thing I kind of want to cover, or the last two things I want to cover is that you as a notary signing agent, having done those two things that we just covered, those two no's, know that you are on demand. Know that you are so valuable to this industry, it's actually crazy. If you've put in the time and practice, like Mark Will says, right? If you've taken his course, which I highly recommend, I'll actually have a link down below. If you've taken his course, he says in his own words, you are 99% above every other notary that's out there. You are the cream of the crop. Put in the time, put in the practice, do what you need to do, and you are on demand. You are valuable. You are desired in this industry. You are a big part of the transaction, whether we feel like it or not, whether if it's the simple loan docs or not. We are so important to the transaction, and you are needed. You just need to get out there, right? You just need to level up. Go do the time, do the practice, and level up. So you are on demand. You're awesome. Know that you need to, if not, we'll continue to put in the time. We'll continue to put in the practice, and that will lead you to the next level. Okay, so the fourth thing is for individuals that haven't yet put in the time, the practice, and maybe are not on demand right now, right? So know that you can get there. Know that you can. Take initiative, set goals, right? Every single day, we have more than 12 hours in the day, right? If we wake up at 6 o'clock and we don't go to bed until 9 o'clock, or maybe we work in 8 to 5, we have periods before the day, we have periods after the day. In fact, we can even stay up a little bit later, like I did, writing scripts out yesterday, and preparing for the cold calls. We have so much time throughout the day, and we spend more than 50, I would even say more than 50 to 75% just on our phone scrolling through Instagram. We got to get rid of the junk. We got to stop doing what we kind of fill our days with that waste our time. We have to be continually learning, putting in the time into the industry. The more that you do that, the more that you perfect your craft, you will be on demand. You will be successful. You will be striving in this business. So know that you will get there, right? Know that if you take initiative, you will get there. You need to put in the time. You need to put in the practice, and then you will be on demand. So you guys are awesome. Hopefully that helps when you put yourself out there in using these signing services. Know that you're more valuable than they think you are. Maybe you don't feel cherished. Again, do the signings that you need to for those companies and move on. Start to expand your business, build relationships. Shoot, maybe even go direct, right? So hopefully that helped you. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me for journal entry number 2. You guys are awesome, and I hope you continue to stay tuned as the videos progress and as we move further into this year. Again, I hope you guys have a great day this week, second week of January, and thank you guys so much for joining the family. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. Awesome. Well, this is Sign Stamp Steve. This is Journal Entry, Episode 2, and I am signing off.